Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Mog King event. Now, okay, well technically it is just a regular Mog King and my camera's fallen a little bit. Hooray for adjusting in the middle of a video, but that's way you know that it's not edited and you know that it's live and you know that there's no script because I make lots of mistakes. There you go. So anyway. The Mog King has been reformatted here on the JP side, and I thought it was important to go over it. Both the positives and negatives, because obviously at first glance, I was pretty positive about it. I'm pretty darn sick of the way that Mog Kings have been going for a long time. You know, Mog Kings, it's essentially the same thing. We're always watching doing the exact same thing for so many months. So when it finally got changed, I was pretty darn excited about it. Now that I've had a few hours with it, I've had some thoughts, both positive and negative, which I'd like to share right now. And yes, I will talk about the grind. Don't worry, I know. On the other hand, I'm not going to come down super hard on it either. So first of all, let's take a look at the event. Now, the event is split into multiple parts, just like it always is. However, it should be noted that there will be a special difficulty. And oh, by the way, wait for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New... Okay, never mind. So this event is basically like your regular Mog King. The first thing I want to say that I really like is that they have scaled down the number of difficulties. It was pretty pointless before, some of the really easy stuff, even for considerably new players. All they needed to do was have a high-level friend, and this wasn't really any kind of a problem, it was just a delay. It should be noted that the amount of lapis and rewards that you get has basically been condensed into multiple steps here. With this one being higher and giving 1,000 lapis upon completion. Pretty nice, just a more expedited process, so I appreciate that. Hey, Ashton, nice. Someone's been grinding the event. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Because the FF1 event isn't like a lot of the other Mog Kings as well. For one thing, it's only 3 things max, which is pretty low. It's actually kind of surprisingly low. It is not very high at all. Normally we see like 6 or 7 or 8, but 3 is the max on this one. And I think that has scaled down the amount of currency you can potentially get from any of these events. It doesn't seem necessarily too bad, but at the same time, it's not necessarily that great either. So let's just plow through this really quick to show what the bonuses is like. And you know what, I'll show this off too, because you know it's cool. It's cool. It's the new CG. We want giant swords. Insert Yu-Gi-Oh joke or Kingdom Hearts joke here. But yeah, the number of stages in this one is considerably reduced, and I'm not sure if that's because it's the FF1 event and there just isn't that much to really go on, or if it was designed this way. I have it more leaning on the sign of design this way. The first of any new event in the game is super grindy. It's pretty much classically like that. So yeah, I'm not really bothered by it too much, because in the future it'll probably get easier and easier, and I assume because of feedback Alan will probably scale down the amount of grind, because the grind on this is pretty darn high. So let's just by completing this 40 energy stage, let's take a look at what we get as rewards from that, and we did get a bonus unit there. So the event points are only 400, pretty much the same as it was before, and that's probably the big problem that a lot of people are going to have with this. As you can see, we got about 66,000 currency, not exactly a terribly high amount. Again, it feels really scaled back. Now, this is the problem that most people are going to have with this new type of Mog King. First of all, you're going to notice that the total amount of event points you need is 100,000. That's a pretty high amount. For 400 per go, it is basically a large amount of energy that you need to spend. And it should be noted too that for the login bonuses. The first 2 days are bonus units. Every day after is approximately, I think it's about 500 stamina. Let me just double check really quickly. My link disappeared. Thank you for that, game or web browser. Someone's to blame. It's definitely not me. Every day you'll get 5-10 energy pots, so it's 50 extra energy per day. Obviously not enough to make up for it. If you've been a long-time player, you should have a pretty good amount of stamina pots. Stamina pots have been dropping like crazy. If you're a newer player, yeah, it sucks, but tell me how bad it sucks that everyone else has better equipment than you, because you just started the game, and I will cry you a river. Sorry, new players, it's just kinda that's the way it goes. Long-term players are rewarded for this kind of stuff, somewhat. Although I do expect this to be generally decreased in the future, because this is way too high. The second thing that you'll notice is that this is where our missing rewards from the Mog King shop have gone. This is where the tickets are. This is where the 4-star ticket. There are 2 4-star tickets missing from this. There's also 2 UOCs missing, but if you consider that we have 3 events per month, a Mog King, a story event, and a raid, I wouldn't be surprised if they've moved all the UOCs into one to each event. Really isn't necessarily taking longer. It is good because for them, obviously, because they are getting you to play the events more, even though, I don't know, it's not really that difficult to play most of the events. So it could mean that other events are going to get a bit of a rework too. What should be noted is as you go up, you actually do get extra event currency too, a fair amount. And if you go over 100,000, there is extra bonus currency that you can get for each step after. So obviously they're expecting people to farm the hell out of this. Again, 100,000 is a lot, but it definitely can be done for any long-term player, and we still have 14 days. So far in the first half a day, I've gotten 5,000. I've obviously been refreshing because I wanted Garland right away, but I'll wait and see first, one, where the missing rewards are. If the missing rewards are gone, if there's only 1 UOC per month, then I will definitely throw a fit about that. So do not worry. And as for the grind can be just scaled back. Or the other thing is if the event points were increased to 500 per go, I don't think this would be a problem at all. So it feels like something that just needs a minor adjustment. And yeah, then it'll be fine. But in general, the rewards going up, you'll notice that there is an extra random 5-star ticket in here for getting to 100k. You get 1 up here and 1 at the bottom. So free 5-star ticket isn't, a bad extra reward to get, so long as the other rewards aren't missing. But now let's take a look at the shop. And this is something that I actually really do like, and some people are going to be annoyed. Well, how can you like anything? You're a beret. But really, honestly, I actually do like the changes to the shop. First of all, and this is related to the banner, I want to talk about Garland for a second. Garland is not on the banner. It would have been really easy for Alum to just put Garland on the banner and for him to be the mediocre rainbow that you get in comparison to Warrior of Light. So the fact that they are making these events, first of all, just for playing the event, getting a 7-star and possibly their TMR or Super TMR is actually really great. I really love this. I love the idea that we can get a full 7-star with their Super TMR just for playing the event. That's great. Obviously, it's grindy as hell, but go play Epic 7 and then come back and tell me how bad the grind is in Brave Exvius. Even in this case, really, go play Epic 7. Have fun. And I mean that in a very sarcastic way, as Epic 7 is so much more of a grind than this game ever could be without just a massive amount of work. But then again, we don't have equipment fees. So yeah, I think that this is a really positive thing for the game for a couple of reasons. One, Garland is not in the rainbow pool, diluting it more. The rainbow pool has gotten just so big at this point, and apparently summon festivals is the only way that we're ever going to get the rainbow pool into a smaller size, which I am not a fan of. It feels good that we can get some key characters from the game for free. They're pretty decent. I mean, Garland is basically kind of a true dual-hand Randy, with a lot of elemental and chaining options and triple casting. So yeah, probably, obviously haven't tested him out for damage yet. I don't even have a 7-star, but I think that that's really good that players can just get that, as opposed to having, you know, to spend money or whatnot. The other advantage is that Warrior of Light's banner is a single rainbow for a CG character. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. And don't you dare tell me that it's not awesome. It's great to see that there is just a single rainbow on the banner, because we've seen so many multi-rainbow banners, and how many times do you actually get what you want? Well, RNG decides that, but it does suck when you don't get the character you want, especially if you're gunning for that CG. It can feel really bad and really negative. So it's really cool to me that we are keeping, you know, some characters out of the pool, and they're just easier in general to get. First day, I already have my Garland. Cool. Also being able to work towards a super TMR is a big deal. Super TMRs are becoming considerably necessary, and for people who don't spend money on the game, guess what? You have to put the fucking work in to get these pieces of equipment. Here you go. This is a way to get a really good heavy armor for just playing the game that is super TMR quality. That's good news. That is a big consideration in just being, you know, pretty good. But also the shop is just much better off now. It's, first of all, you're going to notice that there are some better rewards in here. First of all, there's more max level cactars. Great. That is something that I think is really important to have. The one max level cactar for months in Mod King was ridiculous, and it's about time it changed. Continuing on, limit burst pots, king style. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Given that CGs require so many, the 30 mini burst pots was a bad joke and one that needed to end. So yeah, I'm going to throw that in as a positive too. Also, Trust Moogles. There is now a 50% Trust Moogle in the shop. It is 150,000 currency, but that is a 50% Trust Moogle. That is not a bad extra thing. And there's still the other Trust Moogles in the shop too, the 10%, the 5%, and the other 1%. So at a total now, you are looking at, you know, 60, 65, 70% Trust Mastery. That's great. That's awesome. I actually really like that. Better Gill Snappers, and of course the Awakening materials are still there, but yeah. So here's the thing. Looking at the Mod King in general now, obviously there are some ups and downs and some growing pains. So let's talk about positives. First of all, I really think that probably one of the best things about this is a single rainbow banner for a CG character. CGs are incredibly powerful, high quality characters with cool limit bursts of characters that a lot of people want. So having a single rainbow on that banner is just really nice. Speaking as a guy who kind of wanted Terra, but got Locke, and heck, if I had wanted anyone from the FF2 banner, it would have been Therian. But hey, you know, sometimes you don't get what you want. This gives you a better chance of just getting the CG characters, so I like that. It also reduces the number of rainbows in the pool that may not be as great. Obviously, Garland would have been a stronger character, I think, if he would have been rare gotcha, but he still feels pretty strong so far from my initial impressions. So I'm pretty happy to just be able to get him through the game, through playing the game. That is something that has really not shown up like this yet, so I'm cool with this. Better rewards. Overall, I think that the Mod King just has better rewards. This goes into just being able to get Garland, a super TMR, even Sarah as a friend point unit is a big deal for people who have a hard time getting bonus units. This entire event has just gave us a lot of bonus units. 2 Garlands, 2 Warrior of Lights. That is a total of 250% bonus unit, plus Garland, if you get him the 7-star, that's another 200% bonus. So that's a lot of extra bonus, and the rewards are just kind of better to work towards now. King Limit Burst Pots, more max level Cactars, a Super TMR. I think that the rewards are better, and therefore it makes the grind more bearable, to me at least, because if the rewards are better, then it's kind of worth putting the work in. And if you're lazy, then suck it, is my ending. And yeah, just easier bonus points to get. Also, I just like that the shop has been tidied up, got rid of a whole bunch of old items that just don't really matter anymore, like elixirs. Cool. Glad to see those out of the shop. The event, just overall, I also like that there's an incredibly high difficulty one, a new level of difficulty that gives just 100,000 currency. That will be available on March 7th at 5 p.m. Japanese Standard Time. There'll also be the challenge boss battle too. And I do like that there is a little bit of a bonus for bringing the Final Fantasy I characters, which is that they get a stat boost. When I played through that stage on this video, there actually was a stat boost for my Warrior of Light. Cool. Like the series boss battles, I think it's really great to give bonuses to characters, especially characters that you have and characters that you really like. That's one of the things I think is fun about the series boss battle, is just, being like, yeah, I really like Warrior of Light. Now I get to fight a trial where he gets stronger even in the trial just for doing the trial, and he gets to do and he gets bonuses, or like bonus abilities as a reward for beating it. Like, all of that is great to me. I think that is really great, encouraging. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the negatives really quickly. It is grindy. In terms of 100,000 points, that is a lot. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see where I'm at the 14-day mark when the Mog King is about to end. But considering that I've had just so much, like for the last 2 months during the Mog King, I've played for 5 days, gotten all the rewards that really matter, and just stopped playing the game. It's kind of nice to have a reason to play the game again. So, yeah. And again, in terms of grindy games, I have been playing Epic 7 recently a fair bit. That game is far grindier than even this event could, like, you think this event is. So yeah. The other thing is the big question of missing rewards. Where are those extra UOCs? 1 UOC per month is not worth getting. Like, losing those 2 extra UOCs per month for a total of 3 is not worth getting a few extra random rainbow tickets. UOCs are still more valuable than just random rainbow tickets. If the UOC, however, it's kind of early to, light the pitchforks on fire yet, because we don't know where those are. It would make a lot of sense to me if they had moved the UOCs 1 to each event to make people play those events more. Square Enix expects people to be logging into the game and playing the game. That's one of the things that gachas do kind of well, is just, controlling people a little bit. And I'll talk about that in another video. But for now, I'm going to come down on the more positive side of this event. Oh yeah, and there is one other negative, which you may have noticed. Where are the Mog King maps? The Mog King maps seem to be just removed from the game, which is a little disappointing because there was no warning about this. Again, might show up at a different part of the month, maybe raids or story events. But yeah, it's kind of weird that the maps were just essentially removed, because they were a nice little bonus for doing the Mog King. Could be that they return next month upon popular demand. But yeah, so really, for the new style of Mog King, I think the benefits are really actually quite there. And if the event points just get upped a tweak, as well as maybe the currency farming up a tweak, I think that this event will just be really great into the future. And I think this is kind of what the game needs. So I hope that yeah, hope that happens. But yeah, definitely event points I think needs to be up to about 500 or 600 just to maybe cut down a little bit. It doesn't need to be this grindy. I will agree with that. But yeah, so far my overall thing is pretty positive. But I will be for anybody who's like, oh, that Umber Rays, just because he has so many stamina pots. Yeah, yeah, I have. I have over 2,000. I've been looking for a way to dump these. Found it! Anyway, you guys, that is all for this video, and my next one, I'll be talking about Warrior of Light, because Warrior of Light is pretty damn cool. See you then.